and welcome back to Phil's Corner, and welcome to the Hot Wall. Welcome to our usual Thursday. As we begin, well, welcome to JPR, one of our regulars, and indeed for those watching, if you are tuning in for the first time, an extra special welcome, and please do say hi in the chat. Always like to meet new viewers, say hi to people. Maybe you've come, I say this all the time, but I think a lot of you, if you do come in, you will come through Twitter, through X. So if you're coming through there, welcome. Glad you've stopped by. Today's stream is going to be a bit of a short one. I've just had a look at the number of new shirts we've had according to Football Show Culture, and we're kind of in we are in one of the slowest periods for new releases. Of course, we're getting ready for kind of peak release season, which will be in the summer, or certainly towards the end of May. So this is one of the quieter periods, but we are still going to do these streams. And again, even though this will be on the shorter side, we're probably going to be done in an hour or so, if not less. So that should be that should be good. But we'll rank some shirts. We will do what we do on the Hot Wall on these streams. There is still a backlog which I need to work through, but I will do that off camera because it will take a while for me to figure out what we have and haven't ranked. But welcome. As hopefully many of you have seen, we just put out a video this lunchtime, a main Phil's Corner episode, and that was all about how to avoid collective fatigue. So kind of tips, experiences, sharing some stories, hopefully, which will be helpful for you if you are if you're a Football Show collector. Just, ways to avoid burnout, those feelings of just thinking, what am I doing? Why am I collecting shirts? Should I just pack it all in? We all have those feelings, and I think there's ways we can help avoid that. So that's one thing to check out. Hey Ballum, and hey Ollie, good to see you. He says, hey Phil, my club QPR released next season's home shirt today. They did indeed. It's funny, year after year, it feels like clubs, each year that passes, should I say, it feels like the kind of new kit launches get earlier and earlier, don't they? Oh, but I was just telling you about Arnie slots. I honestly, I know very little, but I've been enjoying watching various compilations this week. I don't know the latest, but certainly I'll be, as a Liverpool fan, which hurts today, doesn't it? But hey, it's fair to say Klopp's the Klopp era hasn't ended in spectacular fashion. But hey, anyway, we won't talk about Liverpool too much. I'm sure if there's any Everton fans in chat, they'll be happy to remind me. But yeah, broadly speaking, what I've read about Slot seems pretty positive. Ballamore says, as Phil says, have enjoyment in your share collection, everyone, and try to save money in this year video released now. Thank you, Ballam. First and forever. I can't remember. Was it? I think Everton beat us at Anfield about, I want to say 5 years ago, but I might be misremembering. I think that was the last time. I might be wrong. Maybe it was a draw. No, we've had a couple of. I can't remember. I'm not the best person to ask. Right, guys, we'll get into the whole in just a moment as we get started in the video proper. I do want to say I also have a Patreon, and this is a place where you can support me as a content creator. There's various things which you get as part of your support. Welcome, Afrika. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to Phil's Corner. So the Patreon is a place where you can support me, and there's the most exciting thing is you get a shirt as part of your support, which I designed with the wonderful brand Icarus. But there's other benefits too. Check that out in the description if that's of interest. And like our friend Afrika has just done, you can also subscribe, of course. And this is completely free, but it does make a huge difference for small YouTube channels like myself. Most people, when they're browsing through this strange space of the internet, they look at subscriber count before anything else as a measure of kind of a brand's, a channel's worth often. So having subscribers makes a big difference to kind of make people think, okay, they've got a few subscribers, that's cool, maybe they're onto something. So please do, it makes a big difference, it really does. But thank you to Afreka, and for those of you who are already subscribed. Right, time for the hot ball. This is our tier list. Now, if you want to see a high res version of this, I shared the kind of full res version on my Twitter page. So that is on the tweet that's just gone out. I think I shared that on Twitter. Yes, I did. Yep, cool. Just checking. So, if you want to kind of dive in some of the details here, of course, there's all sorts of shirts from teams you might have never heard of, and teams you definitely would have heard of. But they're all here. We are going to continue, as I say, with our rankings, and there's not too many to talk about today, but there are some good ones. So we will go to our usual reference point, which is football shirt culture. Shout out to them. They do a good job of keeping up to date with releases. And we will not include lifestyle shirts or keeper kits, just to keep the list a bit tidier. So only shirts worn on the pitch by outfield players. Good afternoon, Ian. Good to see you, my friend. Balam says, for the 7 or so watching with a YouTube account, you can say hi in chat and talk. Absolutely. Thank you, Balam. You can absolutely jump in the chat, as the guys have done. And I always like to kind of hear your takes. If you particularly like a shirt, if you don't like a shirt, if you agree or disagree with my rankings, let me know. So we come to Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Now that's quite a name, isn't it? But this is a USL Championship team. So we've had a number of USL shirts over recent football streams. This is really interesting, from the brand Kappa, a brand who don't work with many teams in football, but they are a global brand. They do work with clubs all around the world. So cool to see them involved in the US. Looks like a kind of contour based design. Honestly, I don't mind it. The kind of colours are interesting, having these light blue well, they look like, I'm going to call them contours, I don't know if they are contours, but the contours, yeah, I quite like that, adding that little bit of colour with the kind of grey tones, the white and grey. I think it's white, it might be off-white, or obviously slightly grey. Yeah, quite a tasteful design. It's funny, we've mentioned before the Capelli brand marks. They honestly do look pretty naff to me, but that's just a brand thing. And I'm curious to know the numbers, what they mean. I don't know what they're referring to. Obviously, we've got some years, but then maybe that's an area code. Who knows? We won't spend too much time on it. But I think this one actually is a kind of maybe even mid to high candle tier. And the candle tiers are our third tier, which is pretty where most of the shirts will end up in the year. And guys, we are going to be doing this for the whole calendar year. So lots of shirts are going to be ranked. We're not even halfway, and look how big the list is. So strap in for the ride. By December, we are going to be I think pretty tired of shirts. I'll probably want at least a few weeks break before we get back into it. Oh dear. But no, it's good. Let's rank. I forgot their name already. Switchbacks, was it? Let's stick them there. Hello, JPR. I don't know much about this team, Colorado, Balam from Colorado, but I do know they're in the USL Championship, and the USL does have a number of good kits, often much better than MLS kits. And indeed, JPR, doing our best, spreading the love, something like that. Although given that I do work with Hummel, and obviously Everton are moving away from Hummel, but yeah, a good week for Hummel. It's fair to say. Oh, Omar says thank you for putting us onto Azessa. All good. I really did enjoy it. As I say, the Romaleu, I forget the name now. Is it the Romaleu? Or the kind of the Roma, the away shirt. I really think that was one of my favourite designs of the year. And they are great. And we've got another Azetta shirt actually today, which is cool. So to continue the discussion on them. Let's just find Capelli now, because yeah, there they are. This little section of the tier list is all about tracking my feelings on a brand as a whole. So every time a brand shirt obviously is ranked, I'll sort of, move their name up and down slightly. Don't take the position too much to heart because it is fairly approximated. But you can see here, Capelli, well, at a glance, I like their shirts more than Castore. I could say that. There are, of course, some exceptions, and even some of the brands higher up. So, like a Diodora, they've not had many releases this year. So, whereas the likes of your Nikes, your Adidases, your Pumas, they've had many kits released. So, again, I won't talk too much about averages, but there is something to be said about this giving some overarching thoughts, but don't take too much to heart there in terms of the placement. But anyway, that's switchbacks. Let's continue. We'll come to Hummel. I mentioned Hummel. My guys, Hummel. Hey, Hedges. Good to see a bunch of people watching. Welcome, guys. This is going to be a shorter stream than usual. I'm hoping we will be able to get back to eBay on Tuesday. Apologies for not being around this week. In fact, it's been a few weeks, hasn't it? Because we had the Champions League as well. So, all being well, we'll be back on eBay this Tuesday. I should say as well, I know I floated the idea of an NFL draft stream tonight. I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm very much excited for that, but I think it will be quite late for me. I did think it would be quite fun. I'd probably be there can't be many people in the UK who'd be that bothered about doing it. But I'm a big NFL fan. I think what I might look at doing is just doing some more NFL content maybe next season, seeing how that goes, and if that goes well, doing some more streams. But yeah, I'm interested on two fronts tonight. One of the reasons is I'm a Jags fan. The other is I've got the third pick in my fantasy league dynasty draft. So anyway, we can talk a lot about that. Yeah, it's funny, Ian. Sorry, come back to Kiss, and you can see I do tend to ramble, so apologies for those who like a more focused stream. But yeah, Ian mentioning the building. Yeah, that probably would have been a much better design to go with. I think Hummel typically have been really good in America, but this is largely just an interesting colorway. The pinstripes, they're fine. You'd probably want to see the collar match the cuffs there, or vice versa. And the thing is, I do like the colours here. This kind of lilac, soft kind of purple, and the dark purple. It's a nice combo, but it's not got anything stand out. There's no details to note. So it's kind of a mid counter tier, probably a bit lower than our Capelli shirt there. Not too much though, because I do like the colours, and it's not a colourway you typically see a lot of, so there's a good gap here. Let's go there for Hummel, of course. If we find them up here, let's do a bit of a shift. Okay, so that is Hummel and Greenville Triumph. But yeah, JPR, are you gonna stay up as well, my friend? I assume you are UK based, right? I'm saying that and assuming, but obviously we have many viewers stateside. But I envy those who are in the States, because you don't have to stay up till 2 a.m, 3 a.m, whenever it is that the Jags will pick. Hopefully they trade up, and then there'll be less time to stay up. Anyway, yeah, Ian said, having said that, the building may be St. Pauli's third shirt from last season. Yeah, indeed. Malmo. Largely, Malmo have had a largely disappointing spell with Puma. There's very few shirts which have stood out. There've been a lot of very, clean shirts, but there's not really been a lot of excitement. This one honestly has very little about it. If anything, I would actually say this is just really boring. It's a third kit, so you're in the territory where I think the leash is a bit shorter for a boring third kit. A home shirt of this style you can kind of understand, but this is a big team in Sweden, and just to add more kind of insult to injury, the crest application, though fine, is not top tier. It's a template we've had for many years now, or at least a couple of years. There is a flag detail on the back, but it's just a sublimated flag. That is it. So very, very underwhelming. You could even say that having the different blue, or the navy and the blue of the crest, they don't have to match, but this is an Ice Cube tier shirt. Probably like on the higher end of the Ice Cube tier, because though very underwhelming, it's not a bad shirt. It's not an absolute shocker, but very, very, very underwhelmed. I mean, if I was to find a positive, I do like the VW sponsor, though that they do sponsor a number of teams, so it's not exactly that exciting even there. So top of the Ice Cube tier. There's not many shirts that have got into the Ice Cube tier, but that is one of them. Puma having a bit of a mixed year, at least in my opinion. Yeah, JP, I remember saying you were a Bears fan. One of my good friends is also a Bears fan, so we'll be interested to see how it goes down. And he does actually have the first pick in our dynasty draft, so I would put a lot of money on assuming the Bears take Caleb Williams. My friend also taking Caleb Williams in our dynasty draft. Right, now let's talk about this shirt. This is Matsumoto Yamaga. I'll be honest, I've never heard of the team. They play in the J3 league, so the third tier of Japanese football. This, of course, is one of Adidas's templates, but we have to talk about the brown colorway. I'm not going to lie, I kind of like it. There are not many brown shirts in football. There are teams, St. Pauli, which came up, which Ian mentioned just now. And there's a smattering of other brown teams, but or teams that have had brown shirts, but there aren't many at all. It's one of the least used colorways in football, or colors in football. And this combination is really interesting. I'm just looking over these pictures now with the dark brown, this kind of gold, it looks like a gold. I was trying to tell if it was beige or gold, something in between those. Obviously the little TP crest as well there, which is cool. The plain back is unfortunate, but really interesting colorway. I mean, again, it's not just the brown, but it's the colors alongside the brown. You've got this red hem. So despite it being a template, I think the unusual combo is really speaking to me. I don't hate the Epson sponsor. It's kind of nice to see a brand that isn't just a gambling sponsor. You would like to see the pass on the back, but that's just the nature of this template, along with many others in the Adidas stable. But yeah, I actually think this is like a high candle tier for me, and it is largely on novelty factor. I think with a template shirt like this, you have to really look to, typically it's either the colorway, which separates a good one from a bad one, but it's also how often that template has been utilized. And I say this a lot, but I think it's worth repeating. a template can actually be kind of exciting in a way if it's used for a reserved number of teams. If it's used for maybe just one or two of a country or a league, rather than several teams in a country or league. And if you have different colorways, if you have kind of a bit more like ways to add variation in some way, you end up, well, that's why I'm going to place the shirt as high as here. And again, there's other template shirts, many Adidas shirts lower on the list, but I think the combination of the colors and again, like, it's a bit kind of weird, but I like that about it. So that is Adidas. We will bump them down slightly, but yeah, fun shirt there. And again, that brown colorway, there are not enough brown shirts in football for me. Very, very partial to a brown kit. And this is, I love this when Japanese teams do this, the summer shirt. They have all sorts of events and excuses for special shirts. Look at that. Brilliant stuff from Matsumoto Yamaga. Now we come to Alba Roma. Now these guys have been working with Izetta, I want to say at least a year, it may be longer. But we did talk about Izetta, and again, as mentioned before, it's a really, like, as a brand, Izetta, I think, are really doing a lot of good things in the space, and they have a very distinctive style. Not only the shirts, but even their photography, heavily stylized, very, again, leaning heavily into their Italian roots. And they indeed, I think most, if not all, of the teams they work with are based in Italy. Certainly many of them are. But what's cool about Izetta, they do have some nice plastic details on their kits. So though the designs are often sublimated, they have actually stepped it up with the applications, which is great to see, and that does add a level of quality. I think this is peak Izetta, and I mean that. Well, it could be positive or negative, depending on your opinions. I think what I would say is that this style won't appeal to everyone, and I think it's not my favourite style. I think, when we talk about, well, what do I mean by that? I mean things like, for example, you've got this kind of very busy, detailed pattern, which is all over, and it's great. That's on the back as well, no doubt. But I think I would be more partial to something like a more subliminal style, maybe some more embossing, and these are kind of advanced techniques sometimes, like embossing especially, which brands, unless you're one of the largest brands, you wouldn't be able to do. And I think, like with the shirt like this, I like the base of the shirt, and I actually think I'd probably just rather not have that pattern, as crazy as it sounds, or at least to dial it back a bit. Because for me, the strength of it comes in what I assume is like a retro colorway, a retro design. It looks very retro, doesn't it, with those bands across the middle? And I think the shirt is very nice. I don't think it's the best Izetta shirt. So, very, very, as a brand, we could talk a lot about them, about the positives, about the negatives. Ultimately, I think this one is still, I'm not going to go, this isn't anything close to the volcano tier in my eyes. I'm probably thinking it's actually more of a kind of mid to high Canal tier, which isn't a bad place at all to be on our tier list, to be on the hot wall. I do think in terms of the colours and the base style, this is a really, really strong shirt. I think the pattern is a little bit, is like one dial too many, and some of the Izetta shirts, and we talked about this last time, they kind of fall into that category. So personally, I would rank it something like here on the list, but ultimately, I think Izetta still are in a great place, and they are. I mean, at the end of the day, they're putting themselves on the map with their shirts. I think sometimes though, and this is, if anyone from Izetta is watching, please take this, as my own constructive criticism. I think sometimes there can be a bit of a one-trick pony. I want to see more diversity in their designs, and I think we got that with the Romalea shirt. I hope we see a bit more of that Izetta going forward. That's my take. Matthew could see says, "Hi, I hope you're well, mate. Just watched your video on collecting. Found myself nodding and laughing to myself a lot as it was so relevant." Nice one, mate. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Again, check out the video. I enjoyed making it. Something it'd been in my mind to do for a while, and yeah, I enjoyed just a bit of a chatty video like that. But yeah, appreciate that, mate. It says, "Don't know if you already have, but ranked the Bari special shirts. They're on Football Shirt Culture." Ooh, that is interesting. So I don't remember if we did. Did we? Hang on. I feel like we must have done, or maybe that was in the oh, was it because it wasn't to be worn on the pitch? I think, unless I'm mistaken, I think the conclusion was that these were lifestyle shirts. But if these are to be worn on the pitch, and again, if I was wrong on that, then we do need to rank these. So I think, from memory, when I saw this, I thought they were going to be, oh, they are going to be worn. Huh. Well, we will rank those today then. Thank you. We are going to rank them. In answer to your question, JPR, yes, I believe they did. And I hadn't actually made that connection, but that does make sense. They did have those green kits. So, yeah, that does make a lot of sense. Thank you for that shout, Matthew. So we will get to those kits. Maybe we'll end with those actually today, because again, we're going to catch up fairly soon. Sporting Club de Portugal. I have to try not to say Sporting Lisbon because that is incorrect, but many fans, or UK-based fans anyway, would say that. I mean, incredibly basic shirt. Yes, we've got the old crest, which does look nice, and that's a great style. And there is a detail, which again looks nice, though it is a simple application quality. But it is essentially just a Nike template. I mean, the green doesn't even match. It's a small thing, but, you know, it doesn't. So I'm going to mention that. Hey, Robert, good to see you, my friend. Welcome. Yeah, guys, this is like barely. If it's not in the ISQ tier, it's right by the ISQ tier. I do like the crest. I do like the detail. I think I would put this one just in the counter tier, but that's hardly exactly where you want to be. And Sporting's shirts there've been so many basic designs. Of course, you know, much of what we talked about with the Malmo shirt applies here. When you've got, so what is this? This is it a third or fourth? It's an anniversary shirt. This is not a good anniversary shirt. Yes, you've got the old crest. It's a 70s tennis shoe. I like that. That's exactly the vibe. Yeah, I honestly think that detail is a good start, and again the crest is good, but you need more quality here, again, with the construction, with the materials, maybe some embossing, something to really kind of give it that special feel, so it doesn't just feel like a slightly altered off the shelf shirt, which it essentially is. I assume this might be a bespoke or partially bespoke colorway, but that's not enough. It's a very, very underwhelming shirt, despite the details are good, but not really much to say there. And that is, of course, a Nike shirt. We will knock them down a little bit, and that is Sporting's anniversary shirt. Figueirense. I'm terrible at pronouncing Brazilian club names, but anyway, this is a shirt from Volt, a brand we've talked quite a bit about this season. The black and white stripe design, yeah, there's a few things to know. You've got, little flashes of green on the collar. Nice little jock tag, don't hate that. Looks like the Volt logo there, used as a lightning bolt. There is a back neck detail. And the collar and cuffs do match there. Not my favourite collar style, but in an age, in an era where there are much more faffy collars, it's certainly not the worst one. So, yeah, there are some good elements to it, but it is fairly run-of-the-mill. But I think Volt as a brand, certainly their coverage is quite large. They're working with a number of teams, and actually I think most of my kind of reservations with the brand are more to do with kind of quality. I think if they up that aspect of their game, they could be in a position to maybe have a bit of a sort of Charly style breakout. And I say that, I know Charly are very low on this list here, but I think that's largely because they've not had a lot of shirts released so far. I expect them to go up a bit, or at least in recent years I've liked Charly a lot. But yeah, Figurenze, this is like peak lower mid counter tier, which funny enough is where they are already, so we won't move their name. Yeah, definitely not too much to write home about, but again, it is worth keeping Volt on your radar. They are certainly again continuing to establish a foothold in particularly Brazilian football. So much so here they are again, America FC. Now, some differences from the previous shirt in terms of construction. Looks like that detail is actually the same, so this is actually like the authenticity tag. I missed that from previous Volt shirts, so that explains it. And that obviously isn't quite as exciting as a bespoke detail, as a bespoke jot tag. Yeah, looking at this shirt though, I mean, it's not too much different in approach to the previous one. Some differences again in the collar. I think this one probably as an overall kind of silhouette, as an overall design, registers ever so slightly better to me than the Figurenze one. Maybe it's because green and black, though it isn't unusual, is less common than a black and white shirt. Maybe it's that. But I think if you want to see examples of some better green and black striped shirts, I'm immediately thinking of kind of Austin FC shirts, and they're a very young team from MLS, but I really like some of their kits which are played on that theme. So America FC here, we'll stick them there, same kind of territory as the Figurenze. Yeah, definitely not really anything which we'll remember at the end of the year. But having said that, and I will say this, I often say this, shirts in this area of the tier list, they still have something about them, and just because they're kind of just about below average, I'm quite stingy when it comes to my rankings, so that is worth bearing in mind. Next up, we have Charly and Oakland Soul. Now, great to have the away and the home kits for Oakland Soul, so we'll rank those in tandem. If we start with the home, now Oakland Soul, like their namesake, or not namesake, what's the word, sister club, or is it a brother club? I don't know what you refer it to exactly. We'll call it their sister club. Oakland Roos, famous for the use of the wonderful colourway of the crest, and Oakland Soul are much the same. So really cool to see that. And though this isn't my favourite kind of style, the sort of slightly washed out look, I do like the approach, and there is a wonderful embossed detail. And again, this is the kind of thing that you get from a Charly kit. They are really good with their details. So this isn't a standout design, but there are elements which I think could go under the radar. Great photo shoot, really nice work there from the brand. Yeah, so I think again, things like that little embossed detail, that's the kind of thing which separates a shirt which is in the lower portion of this counter tier with a shirt which is going to be a bit higher, typically speaking. I'm really into that. And I do think, though this isn't my favourite, it's far from my favourite kind of Oakland kit, and I group Roots alongside Soul in that. I think Soul might be new, actually. I think this might be, is this their debut kit, or have they had a kit before? Let's have a quick read. I'm not sure. Maybe they've actually been going for a couple of years. I apologise if I've got that wrong. Yeah, so let's go here for Oakland. And given that we have Charly here, we can now, I think we've only had one Charly shirt. I might be wrong in saying that, but I think it is there. So, where do we just rank the shirt? I've completely lost it now. That's all good. Oh, there it is. So we'll stick Charly there, and of course they may move even more as we rank the Oakland Soul away shirt. Let's have a look at that. Now this I like a lot more. Let's jump into this one because I think this is very, very strong. Many shirts do play on the theme of the crest being the kind of center of the design, having a kind of emanating pattern from that crest, and this is absolutely textbook in that style. In fact, I think this is actually very, like, sneakily very, very good. I love the stylization. I love the pattern. This kind of hand-drawn feel. It looks like the kind of thing you'd see sprawled on a pavement or what have you. It's got that really nice, that hand-drawn feel, even though it probably is just a repeat. Well, no, there is no. Okay, it does look like it has been drawn, or at least, anyway, it looks great, and I really think this colorway is strong. Having the kind of purple, the lilac, with the white, the collar looks fine. Nothing too exciting, but it doesn't get in the way. Sponsors recolored appropriately. Looks good with the same color shorts there as well. So this is actually, for me, a slam dunk Flames tier shirt. It's brilliant. Now I'd like to see the back of the shirt. I don't know. I don't think we've got a picture, or maybe we do. We do, and look at that. Oh, even better. Oh, guys, look. Okay, you know when we talk about having a patterned back, often that just I would take just a repeat of the front, but the fact, like, so few brands do this, that they actually they kind of continue the pattern as if it was, again, like starting here, finishing on the back. Guys, I'm going to stick this in the volcano tier. I honestly, the more I've looked at this, the more I think this is actually just a really, really strong football shirt. It's got that embossed pattern. I just really like that little sum. That little guy was on the home as well, but this is excellent, and this is Charly at their best. We talked about them. I was kind of hyping them up. I think this is. I mean, the crest and the Charly look a tad small. That's probably the only thing. I'd probably want a slightly bigger crest. Anyway, I think this is absolutely brilliant. I'm putting this in the volcano tier. Like, only just. There are better shirts, but I think it's definitely one of my favourites this year. And it's great work. And this, again, is like, it's good design decisions. It's actually, taking some kind of creative moves which many brands don't even bother to make. Again, not just having a pattern back, but actually using that as, as a design element. Continuing the story of the front, the design story of the front, onto the back successfully. And the colourway, to me, I quite like. It's not colours you'd often see on a football shirt, although we did, of course, have I forget who it was now. It was the Greenville Triumph. We did have the Greenville Triumph, which was similar, but that was the kind of lilac and darker purple. The lilac and white, I think, is a better combo. And it's funny, actually, I did really like the race in was it race in Louisville? So maybe that's just my favourite colour this year. But I love this. I really do like this from Oakland Soul. Let's stick that there. And given that that is a Charly shirt, we will have to bump them up considerably because they've only had a few shirts this year. But we'll go something like here. Really good stuff. Really, really cool to see. Ian says it's strange. I like lilac shirts, especially tennis Borussia, but somehow I just prefer the black shirt with the colour details on the sleeves. Yeah, I think honestly, like, I don't know if I'd want my team to play in that colour, like as a home kit colour, but I just think it's a really strong design. Big fan. We will not talk about the pre-match shirt for Betis or Genoa, but we will come to Freiburg. These guys have released an anniversary shirt, quite similar to an anniversary shirt which I have in my collection from Hummel, which I think was 5 years prior, so the 115th anniversary shirt. But certainly the red and white stripes is a theme which the club have had before. I do think I like this one as much as the Hummel one. The retro typeface is great. I mean, you see these a lot, but that's good. The Black Forest pattern, this is, or the kind of silhouette, I should say, very basic. I don't think that's that strong, and obviously having it plain on the back isn't great. There is a nice detail, though it is off centre there slightly, but it looks a bit off centre. But anyway, it's fine. But I think having seen, oh sorry, I was a bit loud there. It's fine, but having seen again, I think it was the 2019 shirt. I've certainly got it in a box somewhere in my collection, and that is a really good shirt. I don't think this is as good. There are small things that I think work well. Again, that detail in the middle looks good. I think generally, though by far a unique thing, the red and white striped look for Freiburg does look good. It's a look which I think suits the team. But like that, so what would I change about the shirt? I think you could take this idea of the Black Forest and the trees and use that in much more creative, interesting ways than this kind of style. Have the black back as well. Just, yeah, doesn't look good, though that is not to be unexpected. Or to be expected, not to be unexpected. Oh dear. I'm going to go here though, because I do think the overall, maybe that's the kind of bias, but there are some nice touches. The retro typeface does look great. Even just having the outline swoosh, to be honest, is a very small thing, but I do prefer that, generally speaking. But that's Freiburg. And then I think we just kind of come on to Bari, and then we're done, because we did Luxembourg last week. I can't remember where we ranked the shirt now. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so we are caught up, which is good. We are catching up, guys. This is something which didn't really happen last year a lot. Hopefully we can keep this going. I don't think I've not got any big holidays planned, which will help, because that didn't help last year. But great to have these Bari shirts, which again we didn't, I'm pretty sure, unless I'm completely forgetting, we didn't rank these. Now, this is a collaboration collection, so I'm just reading up here. Leonardo Colachico. Now what I want to understand is, are these two shirts that are going to be worn? Is this a keeper kit and a outfield kit? I'm just reading up here. It's not clear to me. So if anyone has any info. Yes, Robert. End on a high note indeed. Now, it's not going to surprise you, and this is hardly I would assume this is a take many others have had. But this combination, or having Kappa and Bari, is it's a slam dunk. Look at the shiny material, Kappa logos on the side of the shirt there. Obviously there's the retro element, but really it is that kind of shininess, and you see that in the jacket as well. But that the combination of the shiny material with the kind of hectic, and this is what I love about Kappa shirts. You've got all these logos, you've got all the details, and it honestly it has that really wonderful kind of over the top aesthetic I should say. The silver and the blue will be worn. Great stuff. Do we have us home, blue us away? Thank you guys. You know way more than me. Honestly, these are just both incredible. The sponsor is pretty close to that collar, and this is a very Kappa thing, isn't it? Having all the details pushed right at the top. But a wonderful collection. The number looks good. Have we got any more pictures? No, we don't. Yeah, I love it. And I think the grey one for me is my pick of the bunch. I love both of them. There simply aren't that many grey shirts in football, or at least this kind of shiny grey. This feels very very kind of 90s noughties. I mean, you know, there haven't been enough shiny kits in football. And just, I mean, I'm trying to zoom in. There's not really much more we can see here, but the crest of the blue one here seems to be a kind of a silver, all silver design. These are both great. I think the grey one is an easy volcano. I say easy. There's very few shirts which I would immediately rank in the volcano tier, but it's going to be the second one of the day. Which, considering this is a short stream, to have two in the volcano tier. Oh, nice, Robert. Yeah, to be honest, I would really like to see that grey one, or order that grey one. I mean, it even comes in long sleeves. I'm guessing they may be out of well, after street. If they're still available, I will probably order this grey one. But if it's probably sold out. It just doesn't look like it's limited edition. If not, I may be making a call to one of my friends in Italy, or order it direct to the UK, whichever option works. Love this one from Bari. Still available, bit pricey. Ooh. Well, I have just sold a bunch of shirts, and again, if you watch my latest video, it's still available on the Bari store. Okay, I will check it out, and that may have to be a purchase if it's not too crazy, or maybe I need to sell a few more shirts before I order anything. I really like this one though. It's gonna go here. It's gonna get there. Oh, you know what? Looking a bit lonely on this side of the tier list, and I do think it is wonderful. That is Bari. Oh, €30 shipping to Holland. I'm gonna order the silver one. Yeah, Matt. I think. Well, I'll probably check out more pictures of both. The blue one I think I'm going to put in the high flames tier. So again, two wonderful shirts. And this bodes extremely well for the Bari Kappa partnership. Kappa, of course, have really been on a bit of a tear this year, and I think it's oh, sorry, that's not what I want to do. It's as much their focus really on how they're styling their shirts, releasing their shirts, the kind of teams they're working with. There's a very cohesive, synergistic approach from the brand. So much so that I think most people could kind of say that basically, well, there's a very distinct Kappa style which you can kind of put your finger on and say that is very much a Kappa shirt. That is very much a shirt in the style of Kappa in 2024. So credit to them for, again, the very consistent storytelling and the imagery, and of course the designs of the kits themselves. Yeah, Ian said, I suspect the silver will be really difficult for the players to pick out whilst on the pitch. Indeed. Oh, that is quite expensive. I might. Well, I'll have another look and see. It's very good though. Again, having just sold a few shirts, I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll go for it. It does look wonderful. Anyway, that was a very, very high note to end on. And 2 volcano shirts, volcano tier shirts today, Oakland Soul's away and the Bari collaboration. Was it away or home? One of the two, I forget which one it was. But thanks, guys. I said it was going to be a short stream. It ended up being an hour, which isn't even that short. But as we usually do, I'll stay here for a few minutes to answer any questions. We can have a chat. We can just talk about the shirts we've ranked today. We can talk about anything else. I'll try not to talk too much about the NFL draft, because again, I've said this on these streams before. I watch I watch a lot more NFL than I do pretty much any sport, probably apart from football. But then I don't even watch that much football, considering my job isn't football, or football shirts, isn't it? It's not football, but I am always happy to talk about that. So today is going to be a fun day. But anyway, thank you for watching. I do want to say thank you for the new viewers. We had a Freco, our new subscriber. Thank you for subscribing, and all the others who, all the rest of you have been watching and chatting. It's been a very busy chat today, so thank you guys. Really enjoyed just hanging out, talking about shirts. It's good. It's great to share this enjoyment. We talked about this in my video. The best thing, I think, one of the best things to help find enjoyment in this hobby is to talk about with others. Find like-minded collectors who kind of get things on your level, and it's, don't get me wrong, it's fun to talk about with people who don't know anything about shirts, but there's something about just hanging out with other geeks, other nerds, basically. It's good fun. Oh, thanks, Eric. Pleasure, my friend. JBS says, Phil, did you make the Pacific Indigenous shirt? I know you went to a few CBL shirts. Yes, let me find it for you. Here it is. Kind of on its out on a limb there next to the Boca, but yes, that one. We did talk about that on stream, I think. Sorry, was that? Oh no, that's not Pacific, is it? That's Valor. Sorry. Ignore that. Oh, maybe that is it as one of a number of shirts which haven't been ranked. I forget, or maybe we ranked it lower. I think that hasn't been ranked yet because I can't see it. I mean, obviously there's a heck of. Oh wait, and we didn't move Kappa either. What are we doing? What are we doing, guys? Kappa. Let's move them up there. Oh yeah, we'll just leave Athleta there. It's the salmon one. Why am I being silly? I don't know. I don't think we've got it on here, because I'm pretty sure I've seen pictures of that shirt, and I don't. And I'm looking at it here because I think I would have thought I would have ranked it up here, but maybe. Well, first thing to do. Let's just check. So leaping salmons. Indeed. What are they called? Pacific. No, I don't think we did get to it, did we? Okay, so it is in the backlog. We will. So I will rank. Here we go. Yeah, we will rank this one. Either off. I might do this one on stream, or it kind of depends on. I need to see how many shirts I've got to rank. I might have to just power through and add a bunch. But yeah, thank you for that. And again, do keep pestering me if I don't come onto it in a prompt fashion. So thank you. You guys are incredibly helpful for helping me to pronounce things, helping me to remember things. Oh, it's very, very, it is genuinely really appreciated. Just reading the back on the comments, Ian says the beauty of different opinions. Up for the alternative shirts to both of your volcano picks today. That's great, isn't it? That is like genuinely, again, the wonderful thing about shirts, and this is one thing I said, and again, I'll keep mentioning the video I just published today, but that thing of finding, carving your path, finding your avenue, whatever it is, those things which you can say, like, I really disagree with that person about that shirt, but that is what gives the space so much vibrancy, so much diversity. It means that your collection, I think, is special when your collection is individual to you, and when it reflects probably something of your personality or your interest in some way. It's great. It really does make the space really fun to be in, and I think that's probably why I've not just walked away from this. That's why I wanted to do this sort of thing for a job. The channel was a very small part of my job, really, and sadly it doesn't make a lot of money, so it's not. I kind of see this almost as a little side thing, but no, just being in the world of shirts, I can't imagine myself doing anything different, at least for the time being. And it is that kind of, again, those individual stories and the stories of the shirts which really make it what it is. And Matthew saying, I've just picked up the new Vasco and Palmeiras shirts. They're absolutely beautiful, amazing, great pickups, both really good shirts. The Palmeiras, I think that I put that in the volcano today, didn't I? Yes, I did. So great choice, and the Vasco as well, really strong. Lovely, guys. I'm gonna leave it there, but thank you for your company as always. On your way out, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Leave a like on the video as well if you enjoy the stream. It helps more people, particularly after the fact, see the video. So when people are saying please like, please comment, blah blah blah, it does help, particularly again for those basically satisfying the almighty algorithm. But please do that if you're able to, and if you enjoyed today. And if not, tell me in the comments why you didn't and what you'd like to see instead. But thanks, JPR. You too, my friend. I'm sure we'll talk about that next week. We can have a bit of a debrief as we start the stream, maybe. Yeah, good stuff, guys. Thanks once again to all of you. New friends, old friends. We do this most weeks, so do tune in on a Thursday if you're around, and Tuesday evenings. Not quite as often as Thursdays, but we will be doing Tuesday evening streams as well. And there's videos on the channel going up periodically. Right, let's get out of here. Thanks, guys. See you very soon. All the best.